Well, I picked up a sling for the old Enfield. Not that I don't think I'm going to use this Enfield for anything. It's probably going to stay in a box. I'll probably take the sling off of it. But I got this on eBay for 17 bucks delivered. And I was going to get another one for $35 plus $10 shipping. This actually probably isn't correct, even though it says, I don't really care what's correct exactly. I mean, it's correct enough. It says it's for 1853 Enfield, but it's a little different from some of the other slings that are out there. But then again, let me put it to you this way. Did the correct Confederates have like a precise, standardized quartermaster issue of 782 gear, which you call it today, back then? No. You know? But it's correct enough. It's got like leather up here you tie off to make that loop. The only thing it had on here, I took it off, was they had something sewn on here. I don't know what the heck it was for. Probably for another type of rifle. And but it works fine. I might get another Enfield sometime. Then again, I might get a Winchester lever action takedown. And in the meantime, because I don't plan any freaking firing these things, or don't ever plan on being involved in this stuff anyway. But this will probably stay in the box, because I don't know if there is any other Parker Hale 1853 Enfields that are brand new in a box, unfired. When I knew this was said that it was unfired, but I figured it had some scratches on it or something. You know, this thing is like flawless, man. So I don't want to mess around with it. I got this from I think it's called the Gunworks in Eugene, Oregon, and it shipped over to me. Had the manual in it, the original box, the whole 9 yards. I think I might get something else from them eventually, maybe a 2-band, which I know that's not correct for reenactments, but I don't really care about reenactments. I just might want to shoot it. This thing is kind of long, but Parker Hale is the only one. Let me put it this way. I found out that it's really a 4th generation 1853 Enfield, and 4th generation is really something they didn't use during the war in 1861, 1865. So in some ways you could argue it's not period correct. But one thing that is really correct about it is that the barrel is made just like the original 1853 Enfield. There's something with the rifling and the taper. Parker Hale makes it. Even Pedersoli, which is a top quality one now, they don't even have the barrel like the Parker Hale. So maybe I'll get a 2-band or another one of these that's used more. But I don't think I'll ever find one at this price. So maybe I'll get a Chapa 1862 Richmond, which will run you like $700 something, which is it's a good one. Because this thing should have been almost double what I paid for it, because I seen used ones for $1,500 to $2,000, and this thing was $1,100. So this I plan to be using here. So my camera, I was messing around with it yesterday and today. This thing works very well if you got your LCD screen, you're looking through the screen, you're like looking down there or something, and your screen is all washed out. This works great. So if I'm ever doing any kind of events or something, I'll probably use this, and it'll come out a lot better. And I'm gonna be driving the El Camino to the next SAR meeting, or Sons of American Revolution meeting, with that flag on it. And by the way, that flag, they chose that X in Charleston, South Carolina, partly because it wasn't Christian, believe it or not, because there was a large Jewish community in Charleston, South Carolina. They didn't want to use a Christian cross and offend them. So I'm not really, I definitely lean Jewish way more than Christian, I can tell you that right now. I mean, to me, it's a symbol of, it's really, it's 2 cross spears. That's really what the heck, that's where the X came from. And it's got the 13 stars just like the 13 original colonies or the 13 southern states, and red, white, and blue. So, you know, if you want to make something out of it, but it isn't, go right ahead. It's your prerogative. And we got our Cherokee Braves flag up there. I kind of like that. That was more expensive, I found out. It's not flying right now. Maybe it'll be there in a minute. But it's more expensive because they had to sew in Cherokee Braves on both sides of the flag. Because normally you get these 3x5 flags. You can get them for like $10 with Cherokee Braves on it. But on the opposite side, it's the letters are backwards. And even if you get a 3x5, the little letters are sewn on. You can see the word Braves on there. I don't know if you can see that. It's either way it flies. It's read correctly because they had to sew each individual letter on there. So the stars are sewn on and all that stuff. I like that flag. I'll probably keep that one up there. But I don't know. It's an expensive flag, so I'm gonna have to probably repair it quite a bit before I keep changing it, because that's a $130 flag. If they only last less than 5 months, that's it's kind of crazy doing 2 flags, and you got flags out there. But I'll be doing it. But yeah, you can get some. And you know, the one other thing I want to mention too is, like, I gained a lot of weight since I stopped working out like a fiend some years ago. Like back when I was in the 50s, I dropped 87 pounds in 5 months. And for the next 5 years, I worked out 3 hours a day, and I was like ribs, skinny waist, below 30-inch waist, 29.5 inches, really. Body fat was 8%, 7%. See, no one's blowing there. And you know, since I stopped working out, I freaking gained weight. But I'm getting back into it now. Been going to the gym every day. But you know, I also saw that as a very important point. You know, if you were in this Confederate stuff, there was no fat Confederates back in the day. As you can see now here, Cherokee Braves. You can see both sides of it the right way. See that? So, you don't have 250 pound, 300 pound. I'm not that heavy. I'm over to 200, but I'm not nowhere near the 250. But, you know, they didn't have Confederates like that weight back then. They were scarecrows. So, and, you know, they talk about even a rifle like this is a pretty good one. It's, you know, it's made good, but nothing's 100% accurate. Like, the barrel off of this wouldn't fit a regular Enfield, because I think it's the 4th generation they copied or something. But anyway, it works. But what they would do normally is they take the serial number off of this. They call it defarbing, make it look authentic. Well, who the hell is going to look at that? And if you had the perfect uniform, perfect rifle, perfect sling, perfect everything, and you're like 275 pounds, and you should be 175, well, I tell you what, you need to be defarbing some fat. That's for a fact, man. You know, I'm guilty of this too, but I won't have a problem doing it, because you know, I'm like a demon when it works out. I can work out like crazy. These people were amazed when I dropped all that weight, and I said that's from way back, because I used to work out really literally, not 365 days a year, but I would do 2 workouts a day, and on a weekend I'd be out there doing distance bicycling and running for many hours. So, but you know, unfortunately, you've seen people in the SEALs, right? They used to be in this. I wasn't a SEAL or nothing, but I mean, just as an example, they must have been in excellent shape. And then you're looking at them like 15 years out or 10 years after they're out, and they're all heavy and stuff. Well, that's what happens. You know, if you work out a lot and you don't work out, you blow up. But that's not right. You shouldn't be heavy for doing this Confederate stuff. It just doesn't sit right, man. And I'm working on that right now. So this thing's staying in a box. I think I broke the box right here, right now. See? Ooh, anyway. Taking the sling off of it. And that sling is going to go on a different one. And I don't think I'm going to fire this thing. You know, it's just worth too much damn money. That's what's crazy about it. I don't think there's one single Parker Hale Enfield that is around, it's unfired and doesn't have a scratch on it anywhere. I don't think there's any of them that exist. I think I got the only one. Not that Parker Hale is like something super duper. Well, it's better than anything made today, in my opinion. I think it's even better than a Pedersoli because, like I said, this is the only one that was a reproduction that the barrel itself, in the way the rifling is. And this is from what I read, and this is like, you know, from people that really supposedly know this stuff. It's exactly the same as the real one, the original one. This is the only, even Pedersoli doesn't even have that barrel like this one does. But I think Pedersoli is more correct on everything else. This one I think I heard is a copy of the 4th generation Enfield, which actually came into production, I think, right after the war or something. But whatever. I said, people notice fat more than some crazy detail like that, right? Anyway, over and out.